Welcome back to Cube League Season 6. I'm Persiferous.
I'm Mr. Control.
We've got HanClinto versus Yaoza here, and it looks like Yaoza led off with a Windswept Heath, and HanClinto led off with a Misty Rainforest, and we're both doing some fetching. In Yaoza's hand, we've got an Island, Hangerback Walker, Bitter Blossom, Spawn of Mayhem, Collective Brutality, a Pelucranos Unchained, and a Blessed Alliance.
So it looks like Yaoza did decide to go Obzon.
With an Island.
Yes.
So he went 4 colors.
Well, I don't know about that.
And HanClinto...
So what's the blue, black, white?
Esper. You should know that.
I should know that one. Why do I not know that one?
So HanClinto's got a Vizier of Tumbling Sands, Venser Shaper Savant, Sunbaked Canyon, Island, Plains. So it looks like HanClinto is looking to tap and untap and tap and untap and tap and untap some things.
Yeah, it looks like he's a control player a little bit. What the...
So HanClinto went and got a Steam Vents and then decides that he was going to play a Godless Shrine tapped. We see a Mirror Entity is being drawn and an Island being played into a Bitter Blossom being cast.
Started off quick.
Yeah. All right, there's the Vizier of Tumbling Sands. Let's see. We're going to get a Bitter Blossom trigger, and then we're going to draw a card as soon as he gets his tokens figured out.
I love how Yaoza always thinks he's in the red zone.
Always.
Always. He's always in the red zone.
Always in the red zone. Court of Grace was the card drawn. So right now, he's got white mana thanks to the Savai Triome, but he doesn't have enough white mana to cast a Court of Grace yet. And it looks like he's a little short on mana together as it is. But we're going to Collective Brutality and discard a Pelucranos Unchained, so we're going to get 2 modes here. I'm going to assume that he's going to go with Show Me Your Hand. I'm going to take an instant or a sorcery from it, which there are none.
Well, HanClinto...
And he's probably going to drain gain. So lose 2, your opponent loses 2, and you gain 2. And then pass the turn.
Well... He definitely needs to get some lands going here.
He definitely does.
I mean, the Bitter Blossom is going to help a little bit, but we need to get some lands online.
That Bitter Blossom is going to help, but he's got a Nahiri.
Oh, HanClinto just drew a Supply and Epiphany after the Brutality.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So, is he going to exile it?
I believe so.
Yeah, he's going to exile it. I think that's a good choice because Bitter Blossom can just get out of hand, and he's going to attack.
It says here, take this. Your target want to block? Oh wow, still no lands.
Still no lands. Olivia Voldarin is the
what color does the Triumph for?
Red, white, black.
Well, at least he can play the Blessed
He can
Alliance.
Blessed Alliance. He can Hangerback Walker, block, and get another flyer.
Right.
He can leave the flyer back. If he leaves the flyer back right now, he's presenting a blocker, and HanClinto doesn't know about the Blessed Alliance. But he's just going to go ahead and cast the... Okay. Just going to go ahead and cast the Hangerback Walker for 1 counter. Next turn, he can start putting more counters on it. And he's going to swing it in Nahiri for 1. So HanClinto now has all the mana he needs.
Oh, wow.
I think. No, he's missing a blue mana.
He is missing a
No,
blue.
no, he's not. No, he's not. He's got 2 blue in there. He's got a steam vent. Steam vent and an island. He's got all the mana he needs.
Yeah.
He's going to discard a card and draw a card.
I think it's a May too, right?
Yeah.
I think you don't have to.
You don't have to discard a card.
Oh. Sub big.
Ooh,
Canyon?
looked like he was all right there. There's manifold.
Wow.
Sunbaked Canyon. So he's got a manifold key. He's got a champion of wits. He's got a Venser Shaper Savant.
Oh my god! Like, you just pass here, right?
I think so.
Keep up.
Maybe play the manifold key.
Right, it only costs 1. Play the key, and keep up Venser for something stupid.
I think he's trying to figure out if he's got enough to.
Well, he can play Suppline, right? That creature untaps a permanent.
Yeah. So
that'll allow him to pick up Venser.
Yep.
HanClinto is probably thinking, man, I would have loved to have that land.
Yeah. So Yaoza's turn just started. He drew Caracas. There must be some trouble in the booth right now.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna see Bitter Blossom come out swinging again, or not come out, but the little fairy rogue come out and swing at Nahiri. He's trying to keep Nahiri in check. He's going to pass the turn.
Yeah, do it, Clinto.
He's going to sack the Sunbaked Canyon, draw a card. He's looking for something. What did he just draw? He just drew something there.
Oh, I wonder if he has. I wonder if HanClinto has. The white sorcery says you gain 7 life and you win the game if it's your second time.
So he did just flash in Venser to bounce the token at the end of turn. Seems pretty good.
Yeah.
So he ended up drawing a Traxos off of
And is it a fairy?
and a Teferi Time Raveler.
Wow.
So he's going to he's going to discard the Champion of Wits, draw a card, get another land, play the land. So if he plays the land, he can cast Traxos tapped. Then he can play the Manifold Key, untap Traxos.
Here it comes.
Yeah, sacrifice an attacking creature. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm cool with this.
I mean, he could counter it if he wanted to.
He could.
He could counter and bounce the Hangerback Walker. And draw a card.
Yeah. Or
copy
or
his
bounce the Venser.
Yeah, or do that.
He's going to cast.
He said, that's fine. Here's what you should have killed.
And
I'll play this, untap
this. All right, so Yaoza's going to untap. He's looking for another land here. Doesn't look like he got it. But he did get an Agonizing Remorse.
That's going to allow him to get the Supply and Epiphany out.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's okay.
Yeah. That or Teferi, right?
Either one of them. Like, I don't think HanClinto needs them.
Not no more.
Because that Traxos is a 7/7 with Trample.
Yeah, that he can tap and untap and tap and untap.
He can, he can untap it with anything else. I mean, he can use the Caracas to make him put it back in his hand. That seems like the right play.
And now you can take it.
That seems like the right play. But now he's going to look at it and go, "Oh my God, what?"
Take the Sublime, I guess.
Yeah, take the Sublime Epiphany and go, "Wow, what is this?" Pass the turn, untap, upkeep, draw for HanClinto. So he's got a Traxos and he's got a Teferi.
We play the Traxos.
And he's got a Glenalendra. Just a turn too late.
Yeah, there's one turn.
That's all right. He's got a Traxos.
What else does Nahiri do?
So tick up 2 is draw a card. You may discard a card if you do draw a card. Down tick 2 is just exile target enchantment or tapped artifact or tapped creature. And -8 is search your library for a artifact or a creature, put it onto the battlefield. It gains haste until end of turn. At the end of combat, put it back in your hand.
Gotcha. It's,
which is why she's really good with Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn.
Yeah. A Dream Trawler? Holy cow.
So he's going to discard the Traxos to draw a card off of Nahiri.
Well, I mean, he's going to do that because of Krakus. He knows he's just going to keep him off Krakus for a while.
Yep. And yes, Sublime Epiphany is exiled from agonizing remorse. So Yaoza drew a white mana. So looks like he's got a couple of choices here. He can play the Hangerback. He can as a bigger Hangerback. It's 2/2 now instead of a 1/1. He can play the Mirror Entity, or he can play the Court of Grace.
I like Court of Grace here.
Well, you play Court of Grace, and Nahiri's just going to exile it.
Play Mirror Entity, and you're just going to
have a Mirror Entity.
It's going to do nothing.
The creature has to be tapped for Nahiri to be able to target.
Oh, get you.
But
yeah, he's in the tank. I think he's going to play the Hangerback. That seems right. Play Hangerback for 2.
Play Hangerback for 2. Pass the turn. It keeps HanClinto from attacking.
Wow, look at this deck. Like, you plus the fairy. You windmill slam the Dream Trawler.
You plus Nahiri. You discard the Cascade Bluffs or the Sulphur Falls and draw a card.
Yeah.
Chart a That's just what you need, is to draw more cards.
Well, it's really good once you have Dream Trawler in play.
Right. Plus Teferi. Yeah. I think the Dream Trawler is
That's the next card.
Next card. It's either that or the Glenalendra into Chart a Course.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you want something to present winning right now. But Glenalendra is going to be the card here.
I mean,
I like Glenalendra here.
I understand why he's playing it, so he can't kill it at instant speed. Or on his turn he won't be able to kill it. He can just counter it or whatever. But like, You just have to discard a card to Dream Trawler and becomes hexproof.
True.
Like, it's very... Dream Trawler is very
And
hard to kill.
there's a demonic tutor. You tutor up a land here?
I tutor up a way of scooping up my cards.
I mean, he does have that Caracas he can put... Or wait a minute. No, she's not legendary.
Neither is Dream Trawler.
Yaoza's really trying to think his way out of this one, isn't he?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, he doesn't know the Dream Trawler's in the hand, and he's only got one threat to deal with. Potentially two with the Nahiri.
Right.
And he doesn't, he knows that there's some big bombs that went around.
Yeah.
So...
I like seeing the mirror entity here. So even if he pays 1 into the mirror entity...
It makes Dream Trawler a 3, or it makes the...
Hangerback Walker a 3/3.
Yep.
So he's going to...
Time Walk?
So he just...
It is. He drew a Time Walk.
He drew Time Walk with a Teferi, and he just cast Chart a Course at instant speed because it's Teferi. Yeah.
Yep, make it a 1/1. And then it has 2+1/+1 counters.
Yep. So your Vizier of Tumbling Sands will die. No, not yet. I'm going to take an extra turn.
So first he'll take his extra turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Yaoza said, yeah, I can't.
Yep. So first he'll take his extra turn, then he'll take
his normal
turn.
Right. Yeah, that's...
And at that point in time, you're dead anyway.
Kind of wish Yaoza had a little bit more lands to help him out there. I mean, HanClinto's deck is definitely real strong.
It's definitely real strong. It's a control deck that's also a combo deck.
Yeah.
Being able to use those combo pieces along with that control shell seems like the right way to do it.
I think he's got the white sorcery spell. The second sunrise? No. Why can I not think?
Approach of the Second Sun.
Approach of the Second Sun. Thank you.
You said it was one of your favorite cards.
It is one of my favorite cards, and I couldn't think of it for the life of me.
That card is my least favorite card of all times.
Well, I at first didn't know what that card did until someone said, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to win the game."
Yeah.
I had no idea. I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, whatever. You gain 7 life." Yeah, I don't give a crap about that.
Yeah.
You gain 7 life, and then they were like, "Oh, it's going to go 7 cards deep," and then they drew a bunch of cards, and a couple turns later they played it again. I was like, "Yeah, gain 7 life." They're like, "Oh no, I win the game now." I'm like, "You shouldn't be winning the game."
Nope.
Why should you win the game? Like, I'm in full control. I don't care what your life is.
Nope. All right, so here goes game 2 after their shuffles and everything. So we see a Tangle Wire, Dream Trawler, Time Walk, Rakdos Signet, Chart of Course, Godless Shrine, Balance in the hand for HanClinto, a Collective Brutality, Stomping Ground, Swamp, Fetid Heath, Lodestone Golem, and a Spawn of Mayhem for Yaoza. And Yaoza's got the Triome on the battlefield already. So,
Collective Brutality.
I think you're going to have to.
I mean, you already know about one of his good cards, and you got to try to stop this combo stuff going on. So you need a collective. Excuse me. You got a brutality to see what's going to happen here.
Yeah, I don't even think you worry about the drain gain here.
Oh, there's balance. He's like, oh wait.
He's like, oh wait a
balance?
second. It's like balance, tangle wire, and Dream Trawler.
He's like, you have got to be kidding me.
He's like, okay, what can I deal with here? What can I deal with here? Well,
like you in my professional opinion, needs to be balance.
Yeah,
that card can get, especially with him having
Dream
the
Trawler
Signet.
and the Signet. Yeah, I think that's right. He's going to do him a favor.
He's going to be nice and allow him to play with his
All
hand
right,
up.
so HanClinto draws a card, plays a land. He drew a Hallowed Fountain. He's going to play the Rakdos Signet here. Pass turn back.
Man.
We see a Stomping Ground and a Halvar, God of Battle in the hand.
Stomping Ground for the turn?
Yeah, Stomping Ground tapped, and you're going to flip Halvar. Yeah.
He says none of these cards can kill me, right?
Yep.
Yeah. He's like, I think I need this in play.
Yeah, we're going to play the sword and pass the turn. So, not sure what the card was that he drew just yet. Trying to look at what he's going to play. Looks like Tanglewire is going to be the card.
A land? Yeah, Hallowed Fountain.
Hallowed Fountain is going to come in tapped. And looks like, we still don't know what that upside down card is. So we see a mirror entity and a land get played and pass.
So on this aspect, we're gonna stack the fading counter and then the tapping ability.
Yes.
So we're always gonna untap more.
We're gonna have more untapped things than tapped.
Our opponent, right?
Yes.
And he needs to tap. Yeah. Okay. So he tapped the Tanglewire also.
Yep. So he's got a Sunbaked Canyon in his hand, and now it looks like we're just going to chart a course. Draw 2 cards, discard a card. He's got looks like steam vents under there.
Wow. Like, I think you keep the steam vents, discard the planes.
And there's Keranos.
Keranos. He's like, all right, look, I got these. I'm going to put them back in my hand. Steam vents, Keranos. I think you play the steam vents and you pass the turn.
Well, he's got to discard a card.
True. So you discard the planes.
Yep.
Play the steam vents.
Play the steam vents.
Or not.
Or not. Did he forget?
I think he did.
I think he did too. So here's Mirror Entity. Which I could see where he'd mess up. Again, stack the counter, tap the 2 things, draw the card. There's a Sublime Epiphany. I think you definitely play the steam vents. Right?
Yeah, yeah. I think you play.
And pass the turn.
See, I would have. I don't know. It's very weird because I think I would have played the walk there, took my extra turn, tapped down Tanglewire as my 1 card, and then put Keranos in play and said go, and now you can shotgun that mirror entity and keep him at bay if you start drawing non-land cards.
I think you land that mirror entity or that Keranos, and as soon as HanClinto untaps, he's equipping.
I mean, that's what I would do. I don't know what HanClinto would want to do. If he passes the turn here, he's going to take a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Because...
and it looks like he's talking to you right now.
He probably is. We are on team in this. And he's probably telling me, like, what do you think I should do here? And I think I'm telling him, you need to get Keranos in play. I think if you get Keranos in play, it's going to be hard. It's going to be an uphill battle. He has 2 cards in hand. Yeah. See, I'm such a good teammate sometimes.
You are. So let's walk.
And then we just tap. Yep. And this should be Karanos.
Is that a Healy?
It is.
And he's counting. He's got 6 mana available.
7. No, 6.
6.
You're right.
Dream Trawler.
Oh, yeah, that's also good.
I think the Dream Trawler, and then next turn Karanos, and when you attack with Dream Trawler, doesn't Karanos start or trigger?
No, because
No,
I think Karanos says on the first card you draw that turn,
Okay.
you reveal it. You may, I think it's a may reveal, or you reveal. And if it's a non-land, you're going to deal 3 damage to target creature or player. Or if it's a land card, you will draw an extra card.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it doesn't trigger for each draw step, or each time you would draw a card. Because, oh my god, he'd be really good.
No, yeah, right.
Yeah. He says, you're going to have to take this.
Yeah.
Because if you block, I just pump everything into him.
Yep. And then I'm going to cast a Spawn of Mayhem for the spectacle cost, and then I'm going to equip Spawn of Mayhem. And now I've got a big Spawn of Mayhem, and it's going to be your turn. He's like, yeah, you know what? We're cool.
It doesn't leave play yet, the HanClinto. Not that it
probably
doesn't matter. I mean, if he had a way of flickering it or bouncing it, it wouldn't technically leave play yet.
Which he does. He's got a Saheeli Rai.
Right. That's
it makes a copy of it until the end of turn, though.
Oh, only until the end
I
of turn?
think it's just until the end of turn.
Doesn't the equipment give your creature vigilance?
I believe so. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has vigilance. When it dies, return it to its owner's hand. So you have to exile the creature.
So he tagged. So here's what I think HanClinto. I think he's talking to me on this one too.
So HanClinto went to combat.
Yeah. And we've already drew a card. So the Dream Trawler is a 5/5.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what we're trying to do is we need to figure out if we need to supply Epiphany the equipment back to his hand.
Yep.
Make a copy of our Dream Trawler.
Yep.
And draw a card and kill the creature. And then he's only left with the mirror entity.
The mirror entity, which the other Dream Trawler can block.
Correct. Which can also gain you life.
Which actually don't even block it.
I mean,
don't even block it. Just next turn, untap, draw a card.
Right.
Go to combat, swing them both, draw 2 cards.
Swing for 12. Because they're both going to see each other drawing a card.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he didn't like my advice on that one.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes it happens. And why didn't the Spawn of Mayhem go back to his hand? It died. It didn't get exiled. Yeah. So maybe now we're going to see Karanos.
Yeah, it's either Karanos or keep up supplying.
Yeah, there's Karanos.
Yeah, this is perfectly fine. He's like, wait a minute, I gotta read this card. It doesn't trigger on each attack, on each draw step. Just each of your draw step.
So Keranos is indestructible as long as your devotion to blue and red is less than 7. Keranos isn't a creature. Reveal the first card you draw on each of your turns. Whenever you reveal a land card this way, draw a card. Whenever you reveal a non-land card this way, Keranos deals 3 damage to any target.
Yeah, we're misplaying this.
So he is misplaying it. Because he's drawing a card during Yaoza's turn, which, reading the card is fundamental. Understanding it is fundamental.
And I love HanClinto, but he is a judge too.
He is a judge. And you know what? People make mistakes.
They do. And sometimes you just don't see it.
Now, this time
really we do
happens.
3 damage to the mirror entity.
Yep. So that time it really happens.
So we should do the 3 damage to mirror entity and kill the entity. And the entity will go back to his hand. So you keep him creatureless.
Yep.
Yep. Bring that guy back to your hand. He says, what does this card do?
Yeah, why is this card dealing me 3 damage? Or dealing my dude 3 damage? He's like, oh yeah. It's not that.
So now we have Sublime Epiphany. So what I like doing here is I just like passing the turn. If he has a land, play a land. No land. So I like just passing the turn and keeping up Sublime. Because he's going to have to play one of these creatures.
Yeah.
And then you can make a copy of it. Can you make a copy? I can't remember exactly what Sublime says. I think Sublime says you can make a copy of your creature.
Sublime Epiphany says, counter target spell, counter target activated or triggered ability, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token that's a copy of a target creature you control, target player draws a card.
Yeah.
So we see a Lodestone Golem, a Spawn of Mayhem, and a Mirror Entity in Yaoza's hand. And looks like he's thinking here. So he's thinking Spawn of Mayhem and...
Gotta equip one of them up unless you don't want creatures.
Well, Spawn of Mayhem's a 4/4.
True. But you would hate for him to draw some sort of black. I mean, he has black.
He's got Patient Rebuilding in hand. Right?
I think so, yes.
Or on the battlefield, I mean.
Yeah.
So Patient Rebuilding says, at the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent puts the top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard. Then you draw a card for each land card put into that graveyard this way. So that happens at the beginning of your upkeep. The first card
it says first card you draw that turn.
So the first card you draw that turn, you flip over. Or you reveal it.
Yeah. So the stack is going to work the mill 3, and then
it's going to check for lands in the graveyard.
Then the first card if there is a land, then we're going to draw a card for that, and it's going to be the first one we reveal.
Yep.
And then we're going to reveal that, and then depending on what that is, we would either A, draw a card or deal 3 damage, and then we continue drawing into our turn.
Yep.
I think he wants to play the Lodestone to try to slow HanClinto down.
I think you're right.
It's also a 4/4, right?
It is.
So it'll stay alive.
Oh no, he's gonna equip
it up.
Okay. So mill 3. There's 2. A pearl. Ooh, no lands.
No lands.
All right. So draw a card. It's a counterspell.
Deal 3 damage to you. This is where you probably play the
Glenalendra.
Glendra.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, can't stop this.
Nope.
Drawing land. Watch, he'll draw a land right here. Oh,
Nope.
no.
Nope. Olivia.
Olivia
Voldaren. It's a really good card right now.
It'll stop that Glenda.
Except for he's got a counterspell in hand.
Well, that's true. It's true.
I think right now what you do is you attack. You get in for 6.
It has vigilance.
You get in for 6. And you start putting some sort of a clock on HanClinto. And I think there was a mistrigger there. Because Spawn of Mayhem says at the beginning of your upkeep, each player loses a life.
Yeah.
So Glenalendra is going to block and bite it, even though Spawn of Mayhem has trample. Okay. HanClinto said, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to block.
Not if it has trample. Doesn't make any sense.
Not if it has trample. Just take the 6, take your lumps.
Yeah.
So do you lead out with the Lodestone Golem?
Yes. Because it's going to get countered. The Lodestone has to get countered.
Over the Olivia?
Yeah, because the Lodestone is going to... Yeah, so the Lodestone's going to lower you a little bit. You don't play Mirror Entity here. It's got to be Olivia. And you got to pray that he flips a land. Because as long as he flips a land, then he only draws a card. He doesn't get to do 3 damage.
Right. I mean, Olivia is a 3/3, so if he plays the Olivia, you hope that... Wow.
No lands.
No lands. Good cards to take, though.
Yep. Hey, I draw a card.
Yep.
No, we don't flip the second one. We draw.
It's 2 lands, it looked like.
Yeah.
Looked like a Plains and a Cascade Bluffs.
So if he had played the Olivia,
Yeah.
Olivia got to stick around.
Yep.
And Olivia would probably be killing an Archmage.
Yeah.
And
yeah, for sure.
I think it exiles it, right? I don't think they die. I think they exile with Olivia.
Deals 1 damage. So for 1 and a red, it deals 1 damage to another target creature. That creature becomes a vampire in addition to its other types. Put a +1/+1 counter on Olivia Voldaren. And then pay 3 and 2 black. Gain control of target vampire as long as you control Olivia Voldaren. So it doesn't exile it, but... All right, so Anguished Unmaking. That seems like a good card against...
Oh, I don't know. That guy that does 3 damage to a creature or player?
Yeah. I mean, does a Glenalendra counter that?
Yes. Yes.
So I see what the plan here is.
I think...
the plan is to try to get HanClinto to block.
Yeah.
Let it die. Let the Glenalendra die.
Persist trigger on the stack.
Persist trigger on the stack. Kill the Karanos.
I think you're right.
But he's got a Sublime Epiphany in hand. So it looks like what he's going to do is probably put the Spawn of Mayhem back in his hand, right?
put the suppline back in his hand.
Ooh.
He's going to bounce the...
He's going to bounce the Halvar. He's going
So
to
he's
make a
trying
copy.
to kill the... He wants to kill the card. Yeah,
It doesn't work that way, folks. Just so you know. It only triggers on your turn. Only triggers on your turn. So he's going to block. Is he going to block with both of them?
See, I think you ought to just block with the token and take 2. Yeah, apparently we're going to block with both. We're not going to play this are we?
Oh my goodness, he's got a win con in hand. He's got the game in hand next turn. At this point,
he's trying not to die.
At this point, you're trying not to die, and if he kills if Yaoza kills the Keranos here, then Yaoza feels like he's in a good position.
Right.
So that's what's going to happen.
And he's probably going to allow that to happen. Like, I would almost allow it to happen.
Yeah, I would allow it to happen too.
Like, I know I'm going to win. Yeah, see, we don't care about that. Let that happen.
Yeah, because you're in the middle of blocks.
If you're gonna do any of them, kill it with the copy.
And just so everybody else knows, it's a lot easier seeing this outside of the game on our end.
Right.
We're not in the middle of this trying to make these really hard decisions. So he's gonna sack the real one, get the persist trigger on the stack to counter the Anguished Unmaking. Enters with a -1/-1 counter on it. He's going to take HanClinto is going to take 2 damage from the Spawn of Mayhem.
Yeah.
We're going to see...
And it don't matter what he casts.
It does not matter what's cast right here.
It could even be Olivia, and we don't really care.
I think he's just going to recast the sword and re-equip. Because he doesn't... Yaoza doesn't know.
He thinks he's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He thinks...
And he hasn't seen
thinks
it.
he's got the advantage at the moment.
Right. He hasn't seen the combo.
No.
He's just seen the somewhat of a control deck.
He hasn't seen the combo. He didn't see any of those cards come through in the draft. So we're going to see a land. Is HanClinto reading? Is he finally reading? Is he going, oh no, I've made a terrible mistake? Oh. He got a land on the patient rebuilding trigger. The first card he flipped was a land, so he gets to draw an additional card. So he's saying patient rebuilding says when you flip a land over, I get to draw a card. So there's 2 lands in the graveyard. So I'm going to draw 2 cards from that. I revealed the first card I drew, which was a land card. Keranos says, when I reveal a land card, I draw an additional card, or I draw a card. So he draws a total of 4 cards.
Yeah, I think he's telling him, like, I think I've messed up here on this a little bit.
And yeah, he's probably saying, I think I messed up. Which,
I don't know if it would have changed the outcome.
The only thing it would have changed is
We would have had a creature in play,
he would have had one creature.
which could have killed him this turn, though.
He wouldn't have drawn all these cards.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But right now, he'd be drawing into the combo. He wouldn't have known that he had the combo last turn.
Which is why we did. I believe he did the blocks the way he did.
Yeah.
Because he knew he had the combo.
Yep.
And you probably don't do those blocks if you don't think you have the combo.
Yep.
He's like, it doesn't matter what these are. I'm just gonna show you my combo and kill you.
All right, we're gonna see Saheeli Rai, and then we're gonna see Felidar Guardian. For those of you that don't know what happens here, is Saheeli Rai enters the battlefield, or comes in with 3 counters. Felidar Guardian comes in, says, blank permanent you control. So when Saheeli Rai enters, you can tick her up to make a copy of the Felidar Guardian that will blink her, that will
Make another copy.
another copy
And just keep
going.
going.
You make infinite haste. Yep, they all have haste.